Jessica's world shatters. What the hell is this, Jessica? Are you spying on me now? Richard slammed his phone down on the kitchen counter so hard I thought it might break. His face was red, his eyes full of anger, an anger I hadn't seen in all our 27 years of marriage. I stood frozen, trying to keep my voice from shaking. I just wanted to understand what happened to our money. Our savings account is almost empty. 30 years of retirement funds, just gone. You checked our accounts without telling me? He snapped. You're paranoid, controlling. This right here, this is the problem with our marriage. You don't trust me to handle anything. He rubbed his hands through his graying hair like he couldn't believe what was happening. Richard, we're missing $487,000, I said, more quietly this time. That's not a small mistake. I have a right to ask. He let out a bitter laugh. A right? You haven't worked in over 20 years, Jessica. That money came from my hard work, my sacrifices. His words hit me like a punch to the gut. I had left my job as a paralegal to raise our 3 kids. We both decided I would stay home. I didn't do it for me, I did it for our family, for him, for us. You really think I did nothing all these years? I asked, stunned. He looked away, jaw clenched. Maybe if you actually trusted me for once, maybe we wouldn't be here. There was a pause, a heavy silence, then, calmly, too calmly, he added, maybe we should just get a divorce. I stared at him, the words hung in the air like smoke. A divorce? Just like that? After almost 3 decades together, you'd rather end everything than just talk to me? But he didn't respond, he just turned and walked upstairs. I heard drawers opening and closing, closet doors slamming. A few minutes later, he came down with a suitcase in hand. I need space, time away from your accusations. I'll come back when you've calmed down, and apologized. Apologized? I could hardly believe what I was hearing. I'm asking about our money, Richard, our future. But he was already walking out the door. Don't call me, he said. I'll reach out when I'm ready to talk. And then he was gone. The door slammed shut. The house fell completely still, too still. I sat down at the kitchen table, my hands trembling. My name is Jessica Weber. I'm 52 years old, and in less than 30 minutes, the life I thought I had, solid, safe, dependable, had completely crumbled around me. We had 3 children together, grown now. Olivia was in med school. Thomas was wrapping up his master's degree. Zoe was in her 2nd year of college. I had spent my life raising them, supporting Richard, managing our home. I trusted that he was taking care of our finances, like he always said he would. But now he was gone, and nearly $500,000 was missing. I grabbed my laptop and opened our bank account again. Maybe I had read the numbers wrong, maybe it was some kind of glitch, but no, the balance was still the same. Just over $3,000 left in an account that should have had nearly $500,000. I scrolled through recent transactions, and that's when I saw it, a wire transfer from 2 weeks ago. I hadn't noticed it before. I'd been out of town then, visiting Olivia at school. The transfer had gone to a name I didn't recognize, Diana Blackwell. My stomach twisted. Richard and I met in college. He was the charming business student, full of ambition. I was studying criminal justice, planning to go to law school. We fell in love fast and married right after graduation. When Olivia was born, I put my career on hold. Then came Thomas, then Zoe. We made the decision together that I would stay home with the kids. I never resented it. I loved being there for every moment, school plays, soccer games, scraped knees, late-night talks. Richard worked hard, moved up at his company, and I made sure everything at home ran smoothly. We were a team, or at least, I thought we were. Things started to shift about a year ago. Richard was home less, always working late, taking more business trips. He kept his phone close, even hiding the screen from me. When I asked what was going on, he brushed me off, said I was imagining things, that I didn't understand the pressure he was under. I wanted to believe him. I needed to believe him. I told myself not to overthink, but little things started adding up. Dinner charges on his card when he claimed to be working late, hotel stays in our city, supposedly during out-of-town meetings, a new cologne I didn't recognize. 2 months ago, I found a Tiffany's receipt for a bracelet in his jacket pocket. When I asked him about it, he said it was a retirement gift for his assistant, but something didn't feel right. The next day, I called his office, pretending to confirm a lunch date, and found out that assistant had left over a year ago. Still, I didn't confront him. I was scared. scared of being alone, of what it would mean to start over at 52, of what a divorce might do to our kids, even though they were grown. So I said nothing. I watched, I waited, I kept playing the role of the supportive wife. But now, the truth was staring me in the face, not just the bracelet, or the dinners, or the late nights, but cold, hard proof. $500,000 was gone, and the money trail led straight to another woman. I looked around our quiet kitchen, the walls, the furniture, the framed family photos. It all felt like a stage set for a life that no longer existed. I wasn't imagining things, I wasn't being paranoid. The man I'd trusted for nearly 3 decades had been lying to me, and as the reality settled in, one thing became painfully clear: the marriage I thought I was fighting to protect had already been abandoned by him. And now, I had to figure out what came next. I barely slept that night. My mind kept racing, looping through everything that had happened, and everything that was still to come. I knew tomorrow could change my life completely. I just didn't know if it would be for better or worse. At exactly 8 a.m., Olivia walked in. She still had a key from when she lived at home. She took one look at me, still in my robe, hair unbrushed, eyes puffy and tired, and didn't ask any questions. She just stepped into action, like the future doctor she was. "Mom, go take a shower and get dressed," she said gently but firmly. "I'll take care of breakfast. Thomas and Zoe's flights are on time. They'll be here by 1. When I came back downstairs, feeling slightly more put together, Olivia had made coffee and scrambled eggs. But more than that, she had sorted through all the financial papers I'd spread out on the dining room table the night before. Everything was organized into neat piles, with notes and highlighters. She had her laptop open and was scrolling through court websites. "I've been reading about financial fraud during divorces," she told me. "It's serious, Mom. If Dad used your joint retirement money for personal stuff, or hid it, he could be in legal trouble. And if his mistress knew about it, she could be, too." I hadn't even thought about criminal charges. That idea made me feel strange. Not happy, not vindicated, just sad. Richard might have lied to me, cheated on me, and drained our savings, but he was still the father of my children. He was still the man I had shared nearly 3 decades of life with. "I just want to get through today," I told her quietly, sipping the coffee she handed me. Later that morning, my lawyer Catherine called to confirm the plan. One of her assistants, Elise, would bring the official divorce papers and help with everything. The forensic accountant had found most of the missing money, some of it sent to Diana's personal bank accounts, the rest transferred into a shell company Richard had recently set up. It was an LLC in Wyoming, a place known for letting people hide ownership. "This wasn't a last-minute mistake," Catherine said. "He's been planning this for a while, Jessica, months, at least." Her words stung more than I expected. While I was thinking about our wedding anniversary, doing laundry, organizing dental checkups for the kids, he had been setting up secret accounts and plotting his exit from our marriage. By 1 p.m., Thomas and Zoe arrived together. They had arranged their flights to meet in Denver so they could come home as a team. Seeing all 3 of my children in our house again, older now, stronger, but still my babies, made me feel a rush of pride and heartbreak all at once. "What do we do now, Mom?" Thomas asked. He looked so much like Richard when we first met in college. It took my breath away. Before I could answer, my phone buzzed. It was a message from Richard. "Flight landed, be home in an hour, looking forward to putting this behind us." I showed the message to the kids and Elise, who had just arrived with the legal documents. We quickly went over the plan. I would confront Richard first. The children would wait upstairs until the papers were served. I didn't want them to be the front line. I needed to face him myself. Just as we finished preparing, another message came in. This one wasn't from Richard. It was from Diana. She sent more pictures from their tropical vacation, and the message she wrote turned my stomach. "He's just picking up some cash and his golf clubs. Don't make a scene. Watching you beg is pathetic." I handed my phone to Elise, who took screenshots for our case. I felt sick. He wasn't coming back to talk or make peace. He was coming back to take more, and leave again. Not this time. A moment later, I heard the key turn in the front door. Richard stepped inside, looking confident, relaxed, like someone who thought he still had the upper hand. He was wheeling a suitcase, probably expecting to grab a few things and head back to his new life. His smile faded a little when he saw me calmly sitting at the dining table, with Elise next to me and legal papers spread out. Jessica, what is this? Who is this woman? This is Elise Rodriguez, I replied, my voice steady. She's from Wilson Family Law. She's representing me. His face changed instantly, from confusion to frustration to anger. You got a lawyer? What are you doing, Jessica? I told you we just needed to talk. Yes, we need to talk about the $487,000 that vanished from our accounts, about the company you secretly set up, about your girlfriend, Diana, and all the things she's been showing off online. Richard paled. You went through my private information? You've been spying on me? No, I said. I looked at our shared accounts, and you've been stealing from me, for 8 months. Elise calmly slid the divorce papers across the table. Mr. Weber, she said, you are officially served. These papers include an emergency motion to freeze all remaining marital assets. The court has already approved it. He stared at her, then back at me. You can't be serious, he said. You don't have the right to do this. She does. Olivia's voice rang out from the stairs. All 3 kids came down, standing beside me. The court's already seen Diana's Instagram, Olivia said. They've seen what you've been doing with Mom's retirement money. Richard looked stunned, like he'd been punched in the gut. He glanced from one child to the next, trying to find someone on his side. It's not what it looks like, he said quickly. The money was for investments. I was going to surprise your mother. Please don't lie anymore, Thomas said, voice tight. We know the truth. We've read the messages. And seen the photos, Zoe added coldly. Richard turned back to me, his face twisted in anger. You turned my own kids against me, after everything I've done for this family? They can think for themselves, I said quietly. They see you for who you are now. His phone buzzed again. He looked down at it, and I knew it was from Diana. I understand now, I said, rising to my feet. You weren't coming home to fix things. You came to take more. Diana sent that message pretending to be you, didn't she? Richard hesitated, then nodded. Yeah, she sent it. It was the first honest thing he'd said all day. You need to leave, I said calmly. You can take your clothes and toiletries, but nothing else. The court has ordered that no valuables be removed from the home. You can't do that. This is my house too. Actually, Elise cut in. She can. The emergency order gives Mrs. Weber full use of the house until the court says otherwise. Richard looked defeated. He stood still for a moment, then straightened and gave me a cold look. Fine. You want a war? You've got one. I'll get the best divorce lawyers in Chicago. When this is over, you'll be lucky if I leave you the dining table. He stormed upstairs. We could hear him yanking drawers open and slamming closet doors. Zoe started to cry softly. Thomas put an arm around her. Olivia sat next to me and squeezed my hand. He's bluffing, Elise whispered. His accounts are frozen. He can't afford anyone powerful now. I nodded, but I knew this was far from over. Richard was angry, desperate, and when people like him feel trapped, they lash out. This wasn't the end. This was just the beginning. And I needed to be ready for whatever came next.